Hello and welcome to BrixFix. I am your host Brix, here today with a LEGO Star Wars set. Today I've got for you set number 75354, the Coruscant Guard Gunship. This looks amazing. The set features 1,083 pieces, is a 9+ age rating, and is priced at $139.99 in the US or $179.99 Canadian. It features an iconic ship from the animated series Star Wars Rebels, and it comes with 5 amazing minifigures. Star Wars LEGO fans have been wanting a Republic gunship for so long now. We haven't had one from LEGO since 2013, if I'm not mistaken, with set number 75021, the Republic gunship. So, although this is a bit of a different take on the Republic gunship, I'm glad it's back in any form, and I'm glad to see that it's been changed up a bit from the usual just white-on-white gunship we've gotten before. This makes it a bit more interesting and maybe a bit more desirable for collectors down the road. If you like LEGO set reviews, please consider subscribing to the channel. I put out new videos each and every week, and your support goes a really long way in helping the channel to grow so that I can put out more videos for you. It's a symbiotic relationship. So for now, let's get this built out here on the table and give you a closer look. Here it is, built and on display for your consideration, the LEGO Star Wars Coruscant Guard Gunship. It might interest you to know that this is the 4th rendition of the LEGO Star Wars gunship we have gotten over the years, the first going all the way back to 2002. And I gotta be honest, I'm sorry out there to the haters, this is the most sturdy, well-constructed gunship of the 4. I have at least played with, if not owned, all 4 of the gunships, and having built all 4 of them myself, I have to say this one had the nicest build. The proportions aren't exactly what I think we were looking for, and I'll get into a bit of that for the minifig scaling of getting in and out mostly, but all in all, I think this is beautiful. I think it displays really well, and for play, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. It's very easy to move around. It does not have parts coming off of it easily. It feels very solid. My only complaint being the sliding doors. The mechanism that they're on is a little bit bendy, but even having trouble opening and closing the doors, nothing broke off. LEGO went a long way to not only make sure this displayed well, but also made sure that it was good for kids. Being that this is a 9+ age rating, you have to assume it's gonna see some action. With the figures removed, we can get a bit of a closer look at the ship itself, and this is what I meant about the sliding doors. They have a little bit of a flex and bend to them just because of the mechanism that they're on. It's not poorly done. I mean, they're kind of low on options here. I mean, this is a big door that has to open smoothly, and I will say this is not how it opens in universe. This sliding open mechanism here is more for play and getting figs in and out, which you can see is easy to do. There's plenty of room for figs. I will say that opening is just a little bit difficult for adult hands to get in there to be posing figures inside. The other side of the craft looking very similar, but I gotta point out all these panels and the way that they're angled really helps set the stage to give you the believability that this is the in-universe ship. This is not an easy shape to recreate. I wanted to show you this other side here. The door opens the same as the one I already showed you, and again, very easy for minifig access. Our good friend, not an evil thought in his heart, Chancellor Palpatine here, will help me demonstrate how easily he gets in there. Every single minifig could fit in there quite easily, and then the door slides shut just as easily as it opens. Again, it's got a bit of a bend to it if you're a little rough with it, but as long as you're gentle in the open and close, it fits in there pretty snugly. Looking at the ship from the back here really gives you an idea. The wingspan of this gunship, like, it is pretty impressive. There's a few little movable things back here, including this little turret. Not too impressive, but it gives you the idea that it can shoot from the back, and this is pretty impressive. A drop-down bay door. Now, what's not impressive about it is its stature and height. I got a minifig here to show you the scale. In order for anybody to actually use this for getting in and out, they'd have to be on their hands and knees, which is kinda weak, to be honest with you. I realize I just complimented the size and scale of this model and keeping the price down, but this was something that is, I don't know, kind of unexcusable if a minifig can't conceivably use the access door, which is meant for loading troops and cargo in and out. Where the pilot and co-pilot sit here is really simple. It's just one singular piece of bubble dome glass per canopy, and there's not a lot in there for controls. It's just one little tiny printed piece of a control pad, but hey, it's better than nothing, and I'll show you how easily these guys fit in here. Number 1, and here comes his co-pilot number 2. And they fit in there perfectly. You don't even have to lean them back too far. The bubble dome glass goes right down in a shell, and they fit in there awesomely, even though they're sitting up a bit, which looks a bit more realistic to me because they're closer to the controls. There is a really neat little handle built in here. It's a Technic pin with a Technic reinforcement pin on the outside. When it's not in use, it sits flush with the vehicle. You can't even really notice it there, but when you want it, it pulls out in this perfect little handhold. You can lift the whole ship, rotate it, move it around any way you like. I had already commented how sturdy this build feels, and that goes doubly so for this handle. When you're holding it by the handle, moving the ship around, it feels indestructible. If this breaks, it's going to be more likely that you smash it into a table as you're running down a hallway, as opposed to it coming loose on you or having something to do with that Technic lift arm element getting in the way of anything. Now onto the minifigures. On the left we have Padme Amidala, formerly Queen Amidala of Naboo, in her more military attire. That handsome vest and fatigue combo looks pretty good on her, but I especially love the printing job on her face and her hair mold. That little face is probably going to go down as the cutest LEGO minifig face I've ever seen. Definitely number one if you exclude the traditional LEGO yellow colored faces and go with this more of a peachy flesh tone color. She is definitely the cutest little fig I've ever seen. That face is too much. Chancellor Palpatine, soon to be Emperor Palpatine there on the right, looking fantastic in his smart robe setup. He does not have minifigure legs. That is the singular LEGO brick element to simulate the robes, and the printing on there is fantastic. It lines up really well, and it's really well done. I gotta commend LEGO on the face prints here, as well as the torso prints for both figures. Alternate faces for both figures. I love when LEGO does that. I would call this both of their business faces. They both look like something just ain't quite right. Those amazing prints of theirs do carry over to the back, and again, just look how well these are done. They match up nice, the prints are of good quality, hat tip and a chef's kiss. Next up are these two identical figures, and no, that is not a clone pun. These are shock troopers, referred to on the box as Coruscant guards. I've just been making these the pilot and co-pilot of the gunship. Their prints are top drawer as well, both leg and torso printing for these guys. Helmet printing, also 10 out of 10. Really well done here. You can tell when LEGO does a good job with prints, and this is an example of that. Look at their face printing with helmets removed. Yes, they are identical, they're clones. And they both feature the new style of the classic Tamura Morrison, Jango Fett, Boba Fett face. Backside torso printing also looking fantastic. This is a funny example now, and the reason why I've been going on and on about the printing of those four figures is we come now to number 5, who has terrible torso printing. The detail of it is fine, and I can appreciate what they were trying to do here, but look at the printed legs. Do you see the white on those legs? That is supposed to be the same color white that is on the chest. That chest armor piece and utility belt are supposed to be that bright. This white printing on the torso is so thin, it almost looks pink, because you can see the red bleeding through from underneath. Very poor job. A company that prides itself on only the best is good enough, and this is nowhere near good enough. Really embarrassing, especially considering the printing on the head is spectacular, the printing on the legs is spectacular, but this is a big swing and a miss here on the chest piece. This is the only named trooper in this pack of 3 that come in this set. This is Commander Fox, and I am glad to get him. Don't get me wrong, I just wish that torso was a little bit better than it is. Quick look at his face, same as the other 3 as it should be. I appreciate some quality torso printing on the back, but again, the white of the utility belt still has the same issue of looking pink as opposed to white, with that red showing underneath it. We come now at last to the value proposition, $139.99 US or $179.99 Canadian. Does this feel worth it? I'll say yes, but just barely. Firsthand, that torso printing, I won't beat that to death anymore. That needs to come up a notch to be a quality toy of this price. And number 2, I could have used some more figures. This is a troop hauler, a troop carrier. If you're going to charge this much for it, we needed at least 2 more generic troops. That would have made me feel better about the price. My complaints with this set were few, and I feel like I voiced them sufficiently. And let's get back to the good. I think this is an amazing toy for play. I think this is a wonderful display model. I love the included figures. I love that we got Commander Fox, and I love this Emperor Palpatine, and my gosh, that Padme Amidala is too cute for words. There is a mental disease in the world of Star Wars LEGO that certainly affects old bricks here, and that is called army building. It is where you buy multiples of a single set just for its troops, maybe for its vehicles. In this case, it would definitely be for the vehicle as well, but the army building usually resigns itself to the $20 to $30 range of sets. Usually the bricks are standby pieces that you use them or you don't, but you're there for the figs. I would love to have 3 or 4 of these all lined up for a big huge battle display, but its cost of entry means I'm limited to the one, which is why I really would have liked it if it came with just a few more figures. The LEGO Star Wars Coruscant Guard Gunship. I thought this set was great. Was it the gunship everybody wanted? Maybe not. Was it the size that we're used to for a gunship? Also maybe not. But I'm all for keeping the price down, so if they can sacrifice size and maybe a few pieces to keep the price point reasonable, hey, I'm all for it. I didn't think that the concessions that were taken here were completely out of left field or unwarranted. I think this is still a good size for play and for display, and I love the included minifigures. 5 minifigures was just enough. 6 or 7 for a price of this level would have been a bit more friendly for me, but what's here I think is incredible, and it's nice to see something different from LEGO Star Wars for a change. Instead of just that same gunship over and over again, we got something different, something that was completely not on my radar, but now that I've built it, I've got it here on display. I think it's pretty awesome. I had a lot of fun showing you this set today. If you had fun checking it out with me, please consider subscribing to the channel, and hey, leave me a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts and feelings on this LEGO Star Wars set. Until next time, know that you are very appreciated. Take care.